Joining us this morning on the program, very fortunate to have Rose Winter from Sensations. Now, we talk about Sensations as the feel-good store, and everything in that store, it seems like, really has to kind of pass a test before it gets in your store. You don't sell like selfie sticks and cheap tchotchke stuff there, do you?
Yeah,
it
no
seems
cigarettes.
like, yeah, it seems like maybe there's a lot of thought that goes into that. And it's a common theme, the feel-good store, and we were talking yesterday a little bit about that. And you have some books that also talk about some techniques to make you feel good or feel better and less anxious, perhaps. And let's talk about that.
Okay. I'm a school nurse and for high schoolers, and I've seen how much anxiety those kids have. You know, kids have almost the same stress levels as adults nowadays. And then in my store, I sell essential oils, and I've been seeing how much people are coming in to get lavender or an essential oil for anxiety, to treat anxiety. And it's hard to feel good when you're feeling anxious, and I don't know how many people listening have ever had a full-blown anxiety attack, but you almost feel like you're dying. It's scary.
It is scary.
And there's a lot of things that people can do, and I wanted to talk about 3 different ones. Some of the newest research has been done on tapping, and we have Nick Ortner's and Jessica Ortner's tapping books, but it was really developed in 1985, I think, by Roger Callahan, and he was treating phobias in his patients, and he was finding that tapping under their eye treated these phobias. And there wasn't a lot of research scientific to back it up back then, but there is now. So what happens when you're anxious is your fight or flight. Your sympathetic nervous system fires. It's fight or flight. We were meant to flee or fight, but in today's world, you know, your boss has got a problem with you, something's happening, and we don't run and flee. We stand there and we take it every day, and it turns into chronic stress. What it used to be for the tiger in the bushes for running away from, but now it's just constantly building up in people. So my kids in high school, sometimes I'll take them around the gym to run off that adrenaline while they're having the anxiety attack, and later teach them these techniques. But what tapping does is it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, so your relaxation response. And you can be so much more creative in your problem solving when you're relaxed than...
No doubt.
Okay, when you're anxious and you have that tunnel vision, what actually happens is all your blood is going to your arms and legs so you can run. That's what it was meant for, to get away from the tiger. And where is the blood not when it's in your arms and legs? It's not in your brain. And you can't think. You can't think, you can't be creative, you can't problem solve as well. So this is the opposite of that. And the tapping is done on the end points of the meridians in the body that is the same that acupuncturists use. It's those meridians. So there's specific points that you tap on, and you just tap with your fingers. You don't need needles. So there's one above the eyebrow. There's one beside the eye, under the nose, here in the chin, collarbone, side of the arm, and the top of the head. And it's funny because they make jokes about looking like a monkey when you're tapping the top of your head. But when you see a group of children doing this, and they go into this smiling, happy thing, that kind of that joy that's there makes it not look so silly after all. It's very effective.
We're not doing the Macarena. We are having therapy. Yeah. So these are many or all of the same points that like an acupuncturist would use.
Yes, and that's going to stimulate the relaxation response. And then what you do is you acknowledge the problem. So say I'm anxious about coming on this show with you, and it's all I can think, I'm dwelling. So you do a setup phrase first, and that's on the side of the palm, and they call it the karate chop point. So there's a setup phrase that says, even though I am anxious about being on this show, I choose to love and accept myself anyway. And that's really important. But you always
Self-talk.
it is. But you always say the truth so some people can't even say I accept and love myself, right? But you could say I am open to the possibility that I could accept myself in this situation. And then you focus on the stress. So it's, oh, so much stress, so much stress. What if I say something wrong? What if something bad happens? What if I'm embarrassed? So you go through the tapping points, and then you start to move it up a little to something that's believable. So, you know, in all this positive thinking now, it's like, no, there's nothing wrong. I'm happy.
That's denial.
That's denial. And not that helpful. People weren't really getting better to make that big leap. So then I would say, could I be open to receiving help? Or could I be open to feeling differently when I go on there? Maybe Greg will help me. Maybe I'll relax when he starts being funny. You know, and could I be open to feeling differently? And then you talk, so even just inviting yourself to feel open to not having that anxiety anymore, and then you build on it to, well, remember when, who is the band, To Be Determined, was here? I wasn't nervous at all because they were so fun and they were all hanging around with their instruments. And so in a relaxed state, that's when you get creative and you could say, oh yeah, that wasn't so bad, rather than totally focused on the stress and only.
What a great technique.
It's free.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere. You don't need any special equipment.
Although you can use oils?
Yes. See, I knew you would help me on this. So yes, and a lot of, so at Sensations we have perfume oil, which is synthetic, and we have pure essential oils, which is the real deal, the lavender from the lavender plant, eucalyptus from the tree. And you can use those together because a lot of aromatherapy has quite a few scents that are for relaxation and for other things. Some are mood elevators. You know, there's different. So people use them together, and I actually had some customers the other day that were using it together with the tapping. So, and I kind of wanted to make a distinction about the pure essential. So it's pure essential oils are the ones that work for aromatherapy, not the synthetic ones. And at the store we have all of the pure essential oils are in brown bottles, so you can tell what they are and that those are the ones that work.
Interesting stuff. Stay with us. We're going to come back and talk about it. The book is The Tapping Solution, and that is available at your store, as well as many other books and many other feel-good items as well.